If you want to know exactly how much fertilizer it takes to hit top yields on your farm, stay and listen. We are going to reveal the most interesting cost-saving trick about fertilizer at the very end of this episode, so make sure you stick around. Welcome to this podcast episode brought to you by AGS Agriculture Global Solutions, your partner for better farming practices. It is really great to finally get into this data today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is fantastic to be here for this discussion.
So let's focus on today's mission. We are looking at a brand new, highly comprehensive scientific study. It was just published this year in 2026 in the European Journal of Agronomy.
Right.
And it is entirely focused on quantifying plant nutrient requirements with, honestly, just an unprecedented level of precision. Now, we're speaking directly to you, the Malaysian smallholder farmer, because we know that in your daily operations, you are constantly walking this tightrope. You are trying to balance the soaring costs of inputs against your farm's actual yield potential.
Yep.
So our goal today is to bridge that gap between the academic agronomy and your daily field operations.
We want to extract the precise biological mechanics and really the mathematical formulas that you actually need.
Yeah.
And what is genuinely compelling about this new 2026 publication is the sheer scale and the rugged, real-world nature of the data.
It is not just lab work.
No, not at all. Often, we see agronomic studies conducted in highly controlled, isolated greenhouse environments, and those rarely reflect the chaotic reality of a working farm.
Right. I mean, the weather doesn't cooperate like a greenhouse.
Exactly. But here, the researchers compiled and analyzed an incredibly extensive data set. It consists of 669 distinct field observations. We are talking about years of a grueling data collection, tracking thousands of individual trees.
Okay, but where exactly was all this data pulled from? Because if it is from a completely different climate zone, that math isn't going to help a farmer dealing with our local monsoon seasons.
That is the best part. This data was collected directly from across Southeast Asia, specifically Malaysia and neighboring Indonesia.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, as well as major producing regions in West Africa. Because the study includes extensive data from Malaysia and neighboring Indonesia, the environmental and practical parallels are direct, and the findings are highly relevant to your Malaysian farm.
That makes total sense.
The latitudinal weather patterns, the mineralogy of the soil types, and the intense precipitation levels they analyzed, they align perfectly with what you experience on your own land.
That is exactly the kind of robust, localized data we want to discuss today. Let's jump straight into the overarching problem this study addresses.
The yield gap.
Yeah. The researchers highlight a pretty frustrating reality. The current global average yield is flatlining right around 14 tons per hectare. But they also map out that the true physiological potential of your palms, given the right environmental conditions, is actually sitting between 30 to 40 tons per hectare.
Which is a massive operational gap.
It really is. But let me challenge that for a second. We hear a lot of the industry about elite planting materials and, advanced genetics. Is the global average really stuck at 14 tons because of farm management, or are we just waiting on better genetics to save the day?
That is a critical question, but genetics only set the ceiling. Nutrition dictates your actual reality.
Oh, okay.
You can have the most advanced, high-yielding genetic material in the world planted in your blocks, but if the soil profile is empty, your yield is going to be empty. The researchers point out that inadequate and imbalanced nutrient management is identified as the major cause of this massive yield gap.
Imbalance being the key word there.
Precisely. It is not just about a lack of fertilizer. It is about applying the wrong ratios. Applying too much of one element while neglecting another creates antagonism in the soil, preventing the roots from absorbing what they actually need.
Quick note. Tell us in the comments what oil palm topics you want next, so we make episodes on what matters to you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not subscribed yet, give this episode a like, and write a comment. This helps our YouTube channel so we continue transforming oil palm scientific articles into language that is easy to understand and digest.
So moving into the mechanics of that high-performance engine, to really understand how to close that yield gap on your property, we have to trace exactly where the nutrients go once they enter the root system.
Because it is never enough to just broadcast fertilizer on the ground and hope for the best.
Right. We have to understand the biological destination and the physiological function of each specific element. Let's break down the partitioning of the major macronutrients. We are talking about nitrogen, which we will refer to as N, phosphorus as P, potassium as K, and magnesium as Mg.
Let's start from the top down and look at the canopy. The data shows that about half of the annual nitrogen, or N, and magnesium, or Mg, taken up by the tree, is allocated strictly to the fronds.
Half of your N and G budget is sitting up in the leaves.
That is a huge percentage.
It is, and the biological reasoning for that is fascinating. Magnesium is the central atom of the chlorophyll molecule, which gives the frond its dark green color. And nitrogen is a primary building block of the proteins that make photosynthesis possible.
So they essentially work together to build the farm's power grid.
Exactly. This translates into a very clear, actionable directive for your management strategy. Applying the right amount of N and Mg helps your trees maintain healthy green fronds, which are essential for carbon assimilation and ultimately producing more bunches.
Because those fronds are quite literally your solar panels.
You nailed it. The better those fronds function, the more energy the plant captures. If you let your N and Mg levels drop, you are effectively unplugging your farm's power source.
I think every farmer has seen that pale yellowing canopy when a block is neglected, and you instantly know the yield is going to crash. Now, what about the trunk?
The trunk is a different story entirely.
Yeah, the study shows that potassium, or K, acts very differently. It is heavily concentrated in the trunk. The numbers indicate that up to 25% of the plant's total K is locked up right there in the vascular tissue of the wood. Why is the tree hoarding so much potassium in the trunk instead of pushing it up to the leaves or into the fruit?
The trunk behaves as a massive biological highway and a storage unit simultaneously. It acts almost like a giant battery for potassium.
So it stores the K to help transport carbohydrates. Ensuring adequate K means your tree has the energy reserves needed to push nutrients into the developing bunches.
Precisely. If the trunk's potassium battery is drained, the tissue that transports sugars simply cannot move those carbohydrates efficiently. By the way, soil testing for acidity and nutrient content is essential, and leaf testing is highly recommended to monitor these specific nutrient levels in your palms.
That perfectly highlights why a balanced approach is non-negotiable. But this brings up a major operational trap. Let's say a farmer goes out tomorrow, pulls their soil and leaf tests, realizes they are deficient, and applies a perfectly balanced round of fertilizer. When do they actually see that 30-ton yield?
That is the hard part.
Because this new 2026 study highlights a biological timeline that can be pretty unforgiving. It takes approximately 40 months for a primordium to develop into a ripe, fresh fruit bunch, which we will call FFB, ready for harvest.
The 40-month biological cycle is arguably the most critical and often misunderstood aspect of plantation management. We are talking about over 3 years of development here.
So the primordium is that microscopic cluster of cells that eventually becomes the fruit bunch.
Right. And over those 40 months, it goes through initiation, sex differentiation, a high-risk abortion phase, and finally, bunch development.
Which means if a tree experiences severe drought or a massive nutrient deficiency during month 10 of that cycle,
It might just abort the female flower entirely to save itself.
and you won't realize you lost that bunch until 2.5 years later when you are walking the block wondering why the canopy is empty.
That is the harsh reality. Because of this 40-month biological timeline, there is a clear instruction for your management mindset. Do not expect immediate overnight yield explosions from today's fertilizer application.
So the yields you are harvesting today are the result of the environmental conditions and the management you provided over the last 3 years.
Exactly. Your action plan for tomorrow must be consistency. You must maintain a steady, balanced nutrition program because you're always feeding future harvests.
That mindset shift changes how you view your entire operational budget. You aren't just spending money, you are protecting future assets. Okay, so if we were playing the long game and farming for 3 years from now, let's look at the exact math required to hit those high yields.
The numbers are very clear on this.
Yeah, we want to get away from that global average of 14 tons. We want to achieve at least 75% of your yield potential, which is approximately 30 tons per hectare.
To reach that tier, the researchers provided the exact nutrient extraction targets based on those 669 field observations. To hit these top yields, you need to apply the right amount of nutrients to replace what is removed.
I have the study's exact extraction figures right here.
Let's hear them.
Specifically, for every ton of fresh fruit bunch, or FFB, you plan to harvest, the palm requires 4.82 kilograms of nitrogen, or N, 0.53 kilograms of phosphorus, or P, 5.95 kilograms of potassium, or K, and 0.72 kilograms of magnesium, or Mg.
Those are the precise extraction targets.
So my instruction to you listening is to use these exact figures tomorrow to calculate your baseline fertilizer requirements based on your specific yield targets in tons per hectare, rather than just guessing.
It provides a scientifically validated way to benchmark your program. But notice something about those numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. The requirement for phosphorus is tiny, just half a kilo. But the requirement for potassium is massive, almost 6 kilos per ton. Why is the ratio so skewed toward K?
It comes back to the biological heavy lifting K performs. It physically builds the heavy structure of the bunch stalks and regulates the water transpiration in the leaves. The demand is incredibly high.
Which means buying synthetic K fertilizer to replace nearly 6 kilos per ton gets incredibly expensive.
It is usually one of the biggest line items in a farmer's budget.
Well, this is exactly what we promised at the very beginning of the show. We have a major cost-saving trick to reveal right now regarding that exact issue.
And it is a game changer for operational efficiency.
We just established that K has a huge removal rate, but the secret lies in where it goes.
Right. While potassium has a huge removal rate, the study shows that the K concentration is incredibly high in the stalk and the spikelets of the bunch, but very low in the actual oil-bearing fruit itself.
Wait, the part of the bunch that actually generates revenue at the mill, the fruit barely holds any potassium.
Precisely. The plant uses the potassium to build the physical scaffolding of the bunch, but it does not store it inside the valuable oil.
That leads to a powerful cost-saving instruction for your operations tomorrow. Stop throwing away your potassium. Return your empty fruit bunches and liquid effluents to the field after processing.
It is undeniably one of the most effective practices you can implement.
This recycles massive amounts of potassium back into your soil, drastically cutting down the amount of expensive synthetic K fertilizer you need to buy. You are essentially mining your own waste for high-grade fertilizer.
Returning it closes the nutrient loop entirely.
Now, balancing all these variables, the math, the empty fruit bunches, the soil tests, it is a massive optimization problem. But farmers can register on cropdrive.ai to handle this seamlessly. The innovative artificial intelligence, or AI, guides fertilization and soil health step by step, and Palmyra answers questions step by step.
It is an incredible resource.
It really is. It was
Yep.
built by an international team specifically for Malaysian smallholders. It is unique worldwide, and it costs a tiny fraction of a human consultant.
I highly encourage you to join the hundreds of Malaysian smallholders already using CropDrive to raise their income and cut costs. CropDrive can easily help you interpret your lab soil or leaf results to hit those exact nutrient targets discussed today.
Let the technology handle the heavy analytical lifting.
Exactly. And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. Think about how much of your farm's hard-earned profits are secretly being carted away inside the useless stalks of your harvested bunches, and imagine what your margins would look like if you engineered a way to keep every ounce of that nutrition on your own land.
Remember to visit our AI farming assistant at cropdrive.ai to learn more on how to increase your oil palm yields and incomes. Thanks for listening.